And we are live.
We're live. I don't have a window pulled up with the chat. Anyone here yet?
I don't think so. I think Robbie was there for a minute, but
Oh yeah. Well, at any rate, is it just us?
yeah, I think so. Cody said he might try to hop on later.
Nice.
Haven't heard from Mark or John.
Are you doing the stream with us tomorrow? Is that what I heard?
I was going to originally, but I forgot that we're having a birthday party for my niece tomorrow, so I won't be able to make
Niece, dude, we're talking horror. Come on.
the Relic, right?
Yeah. Not the Relic, just Relic.
Yeah. The granddaughter, daughter.
Yeah, the 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like hold on, there might be some volume here. There we go. Okay. I mean, it's quite a bit different than the Relic, which is a creature feature, you know?
Is it when Patrick said the Relic the other day, I thought he meant the Relic, the creature feature.
No,
so I haven't seen Relic. Is it kind of like that Deborah movie?
No, well, in a little bit in some ways, but it's not really. It's more of a drama, I think, dealing with some similar issues, but it doesn't have as much horror elements as that one. It's terrifying, but it doesn't have that as many like sort of standard horror elements, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's good, man. Too bad you won't be able to join us.
He said that you'll be reviewing Swallow next month. So I should be able to join that one, hopefully.
Are we doing Swallow next month?
That's what he said. I don't know.
That son of a bitch. Well, maybe. I watched that one. That one's also, I didn't even know that was IFC. I watched that one relatively recently. Still don't know if it's IFC. I don't think. I mean, maybe it's IFC.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
It was this one, Swallow. This is the second limited edition set. This one is even less horror than Relic. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say this is horror at all. It deals with a little bit of body horror, but it's really just a straight up drama thriller type of thing.
It was put out by IFC Films.
I would be hard pressed to classify this as horror because I thought it was sort of more of a horror movie when I watched it, but it's not. It was good though. It's about this sort of like woman living her sort of like the dream life, you know, but she's like terribly empty inside and tries to cope with it by swallowing random objects.
Like just everyday household items like thumbtacks and pieces of plaster or what? I mean,
it seemed like more like a marble and then thumbtacks and then a safety pin and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I've seen shows like that on like Lifetime or TLC, whatever, where people like drinking bleach and doing
like
all kinds of weird stuff.
Strange addiction or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of those, but similar thing.
I haven't really watched a lot of horror lately. I don't know. I did watch the latest episode of Cursed Films. It was on The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. There's rumors that you can see like hanging corpse in the background, but I think it's just a rumor, right?
Yeah, it's just a rumor. But they did edit it so that whatever was swinging in the background was no longer there. So any new copies that you get of the movie, you won't see that. You'll see like a bird, a big giant emu or something like that.
That's a big flightless bird, man.
It is.
I have not seen any of the Curse films, but it's also rumored that Pink Floyd wrote Dark Side of the Moon to correspond with Wizard of Oz, but that is also just some bullshit based on some stoners who like to watch it. That album.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Like, suppose if you start the movie after the Lions' third roar, things will line up.
Yeah, something like
What's
that.
going on, Justin?
Hey, how's it going, Big Daddy J? Yeah, yeah, I think that's bullshit. I believe I can't guarantee that I saw it at the Crest Theater in Sacramento night show on acid, but I'm pretty sure I did.
I mean, there's definitely some correlations. Like, scenes where like the witches riding their bike, the music's more fast tempoed, and then like when the house lands in Oz, it slows back down. I mean, it's just coincidence.
Yeah, that's what Pink Floyd says, but it could be a big conspiracy. You'll still never convince me that Paul isn't dead. No, I'm just kidding.
I know all about that too.
Did they talk about that in that Beatles documentary?
Get Back?
Yeah.
No, it was just pretty much the studio of them making Abbey Road and Let It Be. A lot of improv. Hey, Josh, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
but it is cool to see Paul just like playing on the bass, and all of a sudden he starts writing Get Back. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, just like that, right?
Yeah.
That guy's still touring, man. How old is he now?
He's 78, maybe.
I think, he's just never really stopped touring, right? So like he's like the Rolling Stones. Like I imagine as soon as they slow down, they'll just like all die.
Yeah, I was surprised that they would, go on without Charlie Watts, but I guess I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to see what happens with the Foo Fighters with Taylor Hawkins passing away.
Yeah, I was never like I've heard Foo Fighters and stuff. I know a lot of people are big fans. I know they're very well loved, but I'm not super familiar with them. But I saw a lot of people posting on there how sort of sad they were that he passed away.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I guess he just turned 50, and I don't know. They said they found some drugs in the system, but I don't know. I mean, some of them sounded like just like he was taking antidepressants, and I don't know. Maybe the oxy was because he's a drummer and just has back pains. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything official.
I think if he was taking oxy because he had back pain as a drummer, that means that he was like strung out on oxy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's how that goes. So hopefully, I don't know the details of it, but
yeah,
it's a bummer. I watched The Birds last night. I got like this. The Birds.
The Hitchcock movie.
The what now?
The Hitchcock movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you said Head Shark, and I was like, Head Shark? I'm not familiar with that one. That sounds like a Wild Eye movie. I watched The Birds. It occurred to me, like, I wonder how that movie would do. I mean, it's a bona fide classic at this point, right? I mean, like, just a well-established classic. But I wonder how it would do, like, with today's audiences if it was just released today,
Released with like CGI and better-looking birds.
I mean, just sort of just the general pacing and tone of the film, and the sort of unexplained premise. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know about if today's audiences would appreciate it as much as they did back then.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick and the Heasy, what's up, Patrick? Good movie. I didn't remember that it being 2 hours long. But it was good.
I've seen it once or twice, but so it never really explains why the birds are attacking. It's just random attacks.
Well, it's coordinated, but they don't explain it. Which I mean, that kind of works, but I wonder if like today's audiences that would work on, you know what I mean? I feel like people want a reason or more explanation, or like for me, if a movie has like atmosphere and like draws you into like a certain like feeling, like Hitchcock was obviously the master of suspense, right? So like if a movie can engross you in that, I don't have to understand like all the details, you know what I mean? It's still effective, but I don't know if audiences feel that way.
Yeah.
My pizza just got here. I'm gonna go pick it up. I'll be right back.
Yeah, cool. Yes, I got the new Jason lamp. I can't plug it in right now because it requires USB. Well, I can try. But my cat likes to play with it. Yeah. It's kind of bright. Kind of makes everything washed out, though, on the screen. So I'll unplug it again. So, Patrick, I was confused. Ben and I were just talking. You mentioned that you were going to be reviewing the Relic. I thought you meant the Relic, the creature feature, which I have seen. I have not seen Relic. So I will have to check that out. And I will try to catch part of your stream tomorrow night with Ben and Mary. And yeah, so looking forward to that. Hobbs, how's the move going? Are you getting settled in your new place? Got Phil's creepy videos in the chat. What's going on, Phil? Yeah, Patrick, I was asking Ben if Relic was kind of like that movie. What was it called? The Taking of Deborah, or what was that movie called? The Taking of Deborah Logan. He said it was not the same premise, but it had some things that were similar. So I'll have to check it out. Sorry, my daughter's calling me. One moment. Get Mary in the chat. How's it going, Mary? Hoping that Cody will join us here shortly. He took us a road trip today to St. Louis, and he's on his way home. Ben's getting his pizza at the moment for those that just joined. So if you guys are wondering why I have Shaun of the Dead stuff in the background, today is the 18th anniversary of the movie being released in the UK. Mary, been enjoying your new artwork. I saw your Dead Alive and your, I think it was Star Wars. I saw that you done of Anakin and the clown. Was that pepperoni, cheese, and mushrooms?
And sausage.
And sausage.
In a casserole dish out of plates. I legitimately have more copies of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre than I own plates.
Really?
Are you impressed?
That's impressive. I was just telling everybody that I had the Shaun of the Dead motif going on because it's the 18th anniversary of the movie being released in the UK.
What a great film.
Yeah. I didn't realize there was a gap. I mean, it came out in April in the UK and didn't hit the US until like that following September.
I believe it,
Yeah.
That movie was, I feel like that movie kind of revitalized horror comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't
There were
remember.
talks at
Sorry, go
there
ahead.
were talks at one point of them doing a sequel called From Dust Till Shawn, but it never happened.
Yeah,
There is a poster of it though in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, or not a poster, but like I guess it is a poster, but in Times Square, there's a scene of it flashed like
nice.
on a big monitor.
I have not seen that movie.
It was all right. I like Spider-Man, but I'm not a huge comic book fan. I mean, I've seen just about all the Marvel movies and stuff, but I know there's been a lot of talk about this new Morbius movie, and I've heard not a lot of good reviews about it. But I know the Q's reviews really enjoyed it quite a bit.
And, seen it more than once in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been hearing it sucks assholes.
That's kind of what I've been hearing too. And that they had cut out so many scenes from the movie that it's very obvious that it's disjointed.
I just heard that there's not much there. It's not too engaging, which is a shame. Trailers look pretty good.
Yeah.
I think they're is it rated R?
I don't know. Possibly.
Rated R horror movies or sort of superhero movies are really a lot cooler. I think if they can have a little bit of darkness in them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's PG-13.
Yeah.
The only rated R one that I'm aware of is Deadpool.
Logan was rated R, I believe.
Was it? Okay.
Super. Have you seen Super, dude? That movie's awesome.
Super?
That's amazing film. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Seth in the house. What's up, Seth? Super is it's who's the guy that did Guardians of the Galaxy? Spacing his name. He did Slither.
Tyler, is it Tyler Bates?
It is not Tyler Bates.
Let me look it up real quick.
Seth watched Censor last night. What did you think, Seth? I'm curious.
James Gunn.
James Gunn, that's the one. Yeah. He did Super, and it stars Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page as Ellen Page.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Bacon's in it. And it's about Rainn Wilson just becomes sort of like a vigilante superhero. But his sort of whole, he's got this homemade costume, and his sort of weapon is just this lead. No, it's like a monkey wrench, and he just loves tools. And it's really funny, but it's also seriously dark, man.
It sounds like Kick-Ass a little bit.
It's darker than Kick-Ass and possibly a little funnier. It's a great movie, man. No one ever talks about it, but I highly recommend anyone who has not seen Super by James Gunn to check it out. It was great.
Yeah.
Now, did you like Censor, David? I think you did, right?
Yeah, I like Censor.
Kick-Ass was good too, man. And it was pretty dark. Nick Cage gets basically brutalized in that one, which I thought was, I think he gets set on fire.
Yeah.
Pretty dark.
Wasn't Jim Carrey? Yeah. Wasn't Jim Carrey in one of them too? Was he in part 2?
Was he?
I was thinking there was a movie where Jim Carrey was a superhero or an anti-hero, or
is it The Mask?
No, it was much later than that.
Yeah,
It
Patrick.
might
We'll
have
have
been
to
Kick-Ass
discuss
2.
Super.
Yeah, it was Kick-Ass 2.
I have seen Kick-Ass 2. I don't remember it as well as Kick-Ass 1.
Yeah.
But I did like it. Not as much as the original, but I thought it was okay. Yeah.
So,
I
was just saying, very cool that you got a comment from that artist that you did the cover.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's
always a
probably
good feeling.
the only time that will ever happen, but it was cool, man.
Yeah, I did a cover of a Pete Yorn song, and he commented on it. I was like, man, or on Instagram, but it was like, man, that's cool that he even took the time to listen to it.
Yeah. I like that song a lot too.
Yeah, I listened to it. It sounded very similar to another song that I heard by a female artist. I can't remember what it was, but I enjoyed the song.
It's like when I first started doing it, I was doing a loop cover with bass and like a distorted guitar, a lot more like the original one.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just was like, I'll just change it up. And I just did a weird version of it. Slasher and the Heezy. What's up, Robbie? Yeah, the Censor. I liked Censor a lot. I've heard some people who was it Keith hated it, as I recall. Euphoria Pictures did not like it at all. He liked a lot of it, but the ending didn't jive with him or something. And I like the ending. And I like the sort of the thematicness, and I like that the more her grip on reality sort of loosened, like the more giallo inspired like the lighting was and stuff. I like that movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Hey, Cody.
Hey.
How's it going?
All right, getting settled in here.
Nice.
What I miss?
We were just talking about Censor. Yeah, I love the ending of Censor.
So what were Keith's issue? Was it a pacing issue, or just he just thought the ending ruined the movie, or what?
I think in his video he was saying like, if anyone can explain to me what the fuck that ending was about, do it. I started typing a comment, and then I'm like, God, this thing's going to be like 3 paragraphs long. So I just sort of like ditched on that comment and said, oh, I liked it, Have you ever written like a 3-paragraph comment on a YouTube video?
No, I try to keep them brief.
I think I wrote like on Bronco Juggalo had done a Texas Chainsaw Massacre review that I sort of refuted, and a pretty long essay I wrote in the comment section. I think that might be the longest comment I've ever written.
Yeah, my wife is notorious for writing long text messages and Facebook posts. I'm just like, people don't enjoy reading their novels.
You reply with a K.
Yeah, K or a thumbs up.
Sometimes one of these, hey, or like, ooh, fire. I noticed like Instagram comments are very emoji heavy in a lot of things. Like, I have a friend / coworker who has like an Instagram page, and she's kind of like an attractive Asian lady, and she's got a few pages, but like her main one that has like 10,000 followers is like, sort of like pictures of her looking pretty and stuff. And like all of her comments, like she gets a lot of comments, and they're all like a bunch of different emojis, and she answers them all with also with emojis. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy talk, man.
So how was your trip, Cody? Was it just a day trip?
Just a day. we got up at about 4:30 and got ready and hit the road 5:45 maybe. Got over there, and of course they're an hour behind us. But we dropped Abby off at a scrapbook convention about 15 minutes before it began.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was about another 20 minutes to get over to the arch and see it. So me and the girls went and did that. And then we went and got some lunch, and then we found like 3 different toy stores, comic book stores to check out. And then I did a little more driving to go hit 2 record stores. Girls found some cool stuff. I found, it'd be in my haul video, I guess, but the Land of the Dead toys. I found the Tom Savini zombie to go with my other 2. So now I have all 3. And then I found 5 records. So,
Did you get anything at Riverbend Records?
2. He had the soundtrack to Rhinestone, the Dolly Parton Stallone movie,
Mm-hmm.
and also Good Morning Vietnam. A lot of good ones on there, so I went ahead and grabbed both those.
Have you seen that movie in the last 20 years?
Good Morning Vietnam?
Yeah.
Within the last 5, I'd say.
Yeah, same here.
Does it hold up?
I think
yeah,
so.
I think so. So it was set back then, so
I know, but like for some reason, like I don't remember. Maybe I saw a scene or something like in the last. I have not seen it since it came out, and of course I liked it, and it got a lot of praise, and it was a successful film. But then I saw like a scene or something, and it just felt like it maybe wouldn't have aged so well. But
I still enjoy it. Yeah, good movie.
Haven't seen Dead Poet Society either since a long ass time ago.
It's been a long time since I watched that.
Casey in the house. What's up, Casey?
I've seen that one within the last 5 years too. I think after Robin Williams died. How long has that been now?
Probably like 6 or 7 years.
Okay. We had like a
Damn.
Robin Williams kind of movie marathon, and we watched a bunch of those. Jumanji, and I watched 1 Hour Photo, but my wife didn't want to watch that one. That was a
great
good movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. And I also liked Insomniac or Insomnia. Yeah.
He plays a good twisted fuck,
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys watch What Dreams May Come? That was kind of a depressing.
Oh, love
That
movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was depressing.
Fisher King, another depressing one that's also good. Terry Gilliam.
Abby was telling me good night there. Did you when you said playing a twisted fuck, did you mention 1 Hour Photo?
Yeah, that's what inspired that film.
Okay. Yeah.
That and Insomnia.
There was another one.
The Final Cut. A lot of people haven't seen.
That's the one I was going to say. That's the one where he's like a funeral.
Yeah.
Director.
And,
He's like a video editor.
Yeah. In the future, where everybody's life is recorded in their brain.
That one, when that came out, I was still in school. I went to art school for furniture. And so I thought like his editing machine that was sort of done up like a nice, like a Wurlitzer looking sort of piece of furniture, I thought was pretty cool looking. And it made an impression on me. It was an interesting bit of production design. Wow, that really killed the conversation. Sorry, guys.
All right, I'm in zombie mode. It's been a long day.
Well, that's appropriate because it's the anniversary. That's Shawn of the Dead.
We watched World's End a few nights ago. Watched Hot Fuzz within the last couple of weeks too, so now I need to watch Shawn and get all 3 in.
Yeah, I think World's End is one I've seen the least amount of times. I
I've seen
love
it one
Hot
time.
Fuzz. Yarp.
It is pepperoni, mushroom, and sausage in a casserole dish.
Yeah,
And
Cody. Ben was saying he had more copies of TCM than he does plates.
Do what?
Ben said he had more copies of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre than he does plates in his house.
it's a fact. Yeah, I guess if you're doing like little appetizers, you could use the Texas Chainsaw Massacre disc. But,
Yeah.
I have the Everything Blue full slip steelbook of Shaun of the Dead, and it came with a red pen, and it came with the 4A Electronics pin name badge with Shawn's name on it.
Kind of like in the
Cool.
corner there. I made it coast to coast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like that.
A minute ago, Dave, you said Yarp.
Yeah.
When he's on the walkie-talkie pretending to be that guy, and he has to say no, and he goes Narp. That's hilarious.
But
all those shows are so good.
Yeah, but my favorite scenes are the one where the church steeple falls off and impales that guy, and then the one and when they're at the end where they're like chasing one another, and like that small replica stabs Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, through the chin. Yeah. I have one friend at work who likes that movie well, and whenever I'll we talk about what we need to do, and once we kind of come to a conclusion, we'll both go for the greater good.
I have those Everything Blue also did a Hot Fuzz and a World's End steelbook like one click set, and I have both of those, and I have the Everything Blue Shaun of the Dead, but they also did like a full slip steelbook one click box for Shaun of the Dead that I don't have, and I'm looking for it, but don't know if I'll ever get it.
They call it the Cornetto trilogy, right?
Yeah, Cornetto.
Yeah, Cornetto.
Yeah, kind of like it's kind of like their version of Drumstick over there. Yeah.
Well, I remember the Cornetto in Shaun of the Dead when he goes into that little deli or market on the corner and buys one, and then I remember I think Ed was eating one in Hot Fuzz, but I haven't seen World's End enough to know if there's a Cornetto in that one.
It's right at the end, after the world's ended, and Nick Frost is talking about things that he misses, and a Cornetto wrapper blows up against the fence. It's the only time you see it, I think. And I think the one they had in that movie was green, since they were aliens, and it was blue and Hot Fuzz for the police lights, and of course red, strawberry, and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. I like Simon Pegg. I mean, I enjoyed him in the Mission Impossible movies, and of course the Star Trek remakes.
I really liked him as Scotty. I thought he did a good job there.
Yeah.
And have you watched? Well, there's Hector in the Pursuit of Happiness, or that's a good one, kind of dramatic. And then what was it? Absolutely Anything. The one where he can just wish for whatever to happen and it happens.
I haven't seen that one.
I'll have to look up the title and send it to you. I think it's maybe on Amazon Prime, or I streamed it when I watched it, and he a race of aliens, or like this council of aliens, want to destroy Earth, and they kind of make a bet with each other. Wait a minute, let's give one human the ability to do absolutely anything he wants, and see what he does with it. You know, if he does something good with it, we'll spare them. And they pick him. And just as an example, it just gets out of hand really quick, funny. He's a teacher, and he like wishes that his whole damn class would just blow up or something. And like the classroom explodes. And later that evening, some other people have died, and he figures out that it's him doing it. And he goes, "Oh my God, I wish that everybody who died came back to life." And like zombies start coming up out of the ground and shit. He has to wish it all back, and he starts to figure it out. This is a really funny movie.
I saw him in one called Run, Fat Boy, Run.
I didn't watch that one. I've
Yeah,
seen the cover where he's like really high stepping it, like got his knees way up.
It was all right, but I mean, it wasn't as memorable as Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
In that absolutely anything. He's in front of the mirror in the bathroom, and he like wishes that he's all muscular, and boom, all of a sudden he is, and then he goes, "I wish I had a really big dick." Bam, he falls over, and he goes, "Not that big."
Is it kind of like your Bruce Almighty type movie, or
Sort of, I think.
Sort of, yeah.
You know, somebody suddenly gets powers like that, then figures it out, then abuses them for a little while, and then tries to use them for good. And I think it was just called Absolutely Anything was the name of it.
Yep, it is.
And I think it's Robin Williams' last performance, actually.
Oh, he's in the movie also? Okay.
He's the voice of the dog.
Okay.
Because he wishes his dog could talk. And his dog's food, 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 food. And he has to wish that he could talk intelligently, and and the dog has conversations with him.
I started watching Yellow Jackets last night.
Heard of that?
And after that first episode, I ended up watching 4 more. Like watching it for 5 hours. It's great, man. I'm on next one will be episode 6. And it's been really a great series so far. I highly recommend it. I remember hearing Mark of Horror talking about it, and I heard it sort of thrown around. Didn't know too much about it, sort of about this high school soccer team that crashes in the wilderness and has to they become like cannibalistic clans. It's great though. It sort of flashes between the future after they're reintegrated back into society and like the sort of backstory. So it's pretty engaging, and cast is great.
Is it on HBO Max or?
It was Showtime.
Oh, okay, I don't have
Is that the one that had some headlines because someone was fat shaming one of the actresses?
I don't read headlines too often.
Okay, it was.
I don't know, to be honest.
The actress is, I forget her name, but she's the one who was the neighbor that really liked Charlie Sheen in 2.5 Men, the half crazy one.
There's no way I can remember that.
That's the only other thing I really know her from.
All right, let's see. 2.5 Men.
I'm booting up my computer.
Oh, I never watched 2.5 Men. I was thinking 3 Men and a Baby when you said that.
Oh. I like 2.5 Men. I always thought it was funny. The boy made me laugh.
I mean, that was like one of the biggest shows. Melanie Linsky is in it. She plays a fat cow. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. She's great in it. She plays kind of like I don't know. That's what I mean. That like the characters are really interesting. She's in the future. She is like sort of like a soccer mom, but in the past she's a little more hardcore. Beth in the Heezy. What's up, Beth?
Beth just did a video on her complete Mondo Death Waltz collection.
Ooh, long video.
Yeah, it was lengthy.
I don't know how many of those I have.
What's that?
I don't know how many of those I have. I have a few.
Yeah, she's got some that I don't have. Just Say Anything.
I saw
Pet
that today at the
Sematary.
record store.
Pet Cemetery, Monster Squad. I don't have those.
I have a few. What is maybe Maniac is Death Waltz.
Yep, that's one I don't have either.
That's a great score. I love that score.
Yeah, I just watched those movies for the first time, and I really enjoyed all three of them.
What's the third one?
Maniac Cop 3?
Oh no, I'm just talking about straight up Maniac, the remake with the last one.
Maniac. I'm sorry, Maniac Cop's what I was talking about.
I was like, damn, they made a third one. I don't know about it. I know they were gonna make a sequel to the 80s one, and they shot like a trailer of it. And on some of the deluxe editions, they have like Maniac Part 2, but it's really just like a trailer, like a short concept thing. Yeah, Maniac.
Go ahead.
As I say, Maniac Cop's fun.
Yeah. Cody Best asking how the store was.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm on my phone, so I didn't have the chat up. It was nice. He had a lot of stuff, quite a selection, and quite a few soundtracks.
Was Billy there, or was it someone else running the store?
I didn't catch his name. He was kind of busy, so I just kind of rung up and left.
Yeah.
Anytime someone says Billy, the only thing that comes into my head is Black Christmas.
I always think Billy Jack for some reason.
I always hear Bon Jovi, Billy, get your gun. Sorry.
All right, chat. It's up to you. What do you guys think of when you hear the name? I'm sure someone's got to think of the kid. Or Billy was the wife's name in Creepshow.
Yeah. Just tell him to call you Billy.
Yeah. Someone's got to think of Billie Jean.
Billie Eilish.
Billy Idol.
There we go.
Anytime I hear Billie Eilish, I think of Billy Idol.
Billie Jean King.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
All right. Now I have a chat open.
Yep. Beth says Billy the Kid.
Or Gizmo's owner from Gremlins.
Yeah.
Think of that too.
Billy Bob Thornton.
What is the greatest role you've seen Billy Bob Thornton in? Is it Sling
I would
Blade?
say Sling Blade.
He talked funny in that one for sure.
Sling Blade. I like him as the. I just watched it the other night in Tombstone, where he's the Pharaoh dealer that Kurt Russell throws out of the bar.
Yeah.
He was in the first season of Fargo, and Fargo, the series.
Was he in the movie also?
I don't think he was in the movie,
Okay.
but he was in the series. He was great in that. That was a really cool series. It's like pretty interesting that they adapted Fargo, the movie, into a series. It was great. First season, but I heard that all of them are good.
I liked him in Armageddon too. Just kind of playing that administrator type. I thought he did good.
What is the shittiest role you've seen him in?
Probably like Bad Santa or something. I just didn't care for any of that.
That sounded like a lot of people thought it was hilarious. I kind of thought it was not hilarious.
Yeah, just wasn't my brand, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say Bad Santa. Mr. Woodcock. I didn't care much for that movie either.
I didn't see that.
Some call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade. French fried taters.
French fried taters.
French fried taters.
I like it when he calls the police. So, yeah, I killed him. Said that second swipe almost plumb cut his head in two. He better get over here.
I haven't seen that movie since it came out either.
Yeah, it's been a long
been a
time.
little while for me.
John Ritter. What's your favorite John Ritter role?
I'm a big fan of Stay Tuned, as goofy as it is. I love that
Problem
movie.
Child.
Lights
of Problem Child.
I think I gotta go to Jack Tripper, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say I go back to Three's Company.
Second, maybe Bride of Chucky.
Then he was in Scrubs just a little bit as what's his name? The main character, JD, I think. His dad.
I never watched that show.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that. There was like a follow-on to it that I did not watch, but regular Scrubs I did like.
I mean, there's like a whole era of TV that I just don't watch because I didn't have cable or satellite or anything.
Yeah, I watched Scrubs through discs in the mail, Netflix. Was how I watched it.
The only thing I really remember about Skin Deep was the glow in the dark condoms.
Yeah,
I
remember that whole sequence.
Yeah.
That was a Blake Edwards movie too, wasn't it?
Don't know.
I think it was. Which out and about today, I found Revenge of the Pink Panther soundtrack, that I don't have of that series. And it was trashed. It was only $5 and it wasn't even worth paying $5 for. So disappointing.
I stepped outside to take Quilta for a walk today. Other than that, indoors all day. Didn't wake up till 3 p.m. My schedule is so fucked up.
Yeah, I went to bed like 4 a.m. and slept till noon.
I forgot. I'm going to send you guys something. Besides seeing the St. Louis Arch today, we also got to see the world's largest bottle of ketchup.
Oh, that sounds big.
And
Was it Heinz?
No, it's what's the name on it? Brooks. I guess it was a brand of ketchup made in that town at one time.
So here's the thing, though. It's only a bottle of ketchup if it's filled with ketchup.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. In reality, it's a water tower made up to look like a ketchup bottle.
Okay, so it's the biggest dumbass water tower you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's the biggest ridiculous novelty bottle of ketchup in the world.
They should at least fill it with Clamato. I mean, it was at least worth pulling over in the parking lot to get a picture of. So wait, I say Clamato, you say Clamato? Is that what just happened?
Yeah.
I feel like there used to be the world's largest thing as a tourist attraction. It used to be more common in the 80s. Am I wrong? Does that still happen places? I guess other than the ketchup bottle?
Here and there. Now, on the way back, we passed it and we've been there. There's a town in Illinois on Interstate 70 called Casey, Illinois. And they have all kinds of big things. They've got a 36-foot long yardstick.
Okay.
You can get your picture next to.
Well,
they got it.
The fuck? Okay, that is not a yardstick.
Well, it's no longer a yardstick at that point. Yes, but
that's just a long ass stick, is all. Come on.
Then, but it's scaled up like that. They got a pencil that's like 15 feet long. They got the world's largest mailbox, the world's largest golf tee, the largest pitchfork. And the shit's just scattered all over town. You drive largest mousetrap. You drive all over town and see these things and get pictures with them. We went during COVID because it's like, well, it's all outdoors. It seems like something to do.
There was an artist named Klaus Oldenburg who does a lot of like really big sculptures, and he plays with scale like that. A lot of public sculptures, so he'll have like the world's largest safety pin or world's largest spoon. But I mean, yardsticks in the goddamn name. That's like,
yeah.
Like it's like having the world's largest 12-ounce can of Coke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not just call it a measuring stick at that point?
Let's see. I'll find some.
Yeah, I am. I'm like a vampire, except I'm still up oftentimes when the sun rises. So I'm a shit vampire. My schedule's supremely fucked at this point.
I'm going to send you guys a link too. This has pictures of all the big stuff in Casey, Illinois.
Just for the people in the chat, there's that world's largest water tower shaped like a ketchup bottle. I guess that's like ketchup.
Yeah, Brooks Tangy Ketchup.
Yeah, but I bet there's nothing tangy about it.
No, it's probably pretty bland.
Probably like, yeah, pretty kind of watered down.
Very watered down.
I mean, ketchup's just like vinegar, right? Like, but it still goes bad. I don't get it. Rick and the Heezy, what's up?
Yeah. That I did say while we were there that'd be a hell of a prank if someone could figure out how to fill that thing with ketchup.
Make the whole town's like taps drip ketchup.
Right.
That's like some haunted house shit, man.
Be like a weird version of the Amityville Horror or something.
Yeah, exactly. Have any of you guys seen like all the crazy Amityville movies there are? There's like 100,000 of them.
There's a shitload of them. No, not near.
Yeah.
I think I've seen 4 Amityville movies. That's it.
I think I've seen 2 only. I'm not the biggest fan. I think the first one was okay. I thought there was a remake, wasn't there?
Yep. With
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
I saw that. So I think
It came out around the same time that Poltergeist remake came out, didn't it?
No, I heard that.
It came out in 2005, I believe.
They added The Fog. Speaking of shit remakes, they added The Fog to HBO Max, and I put it on. I was like, I've never seen this. I'm just curious, like how awful it can be. I've heard so many bad things about it. It wasn't good. I didn't last too long watching it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It just like a movie like that, like if you can't know the atmosphere, like if you just take this, like the Suspiria remake, if you just take the story, which is the weakest part of the film, and retell it, you're gonna get basically like the weakest thing you can. So yeah. I have not seen The Dawn or Unspoken. I've seen The Dawn of the Dead. And I've seen The Red Dawn.
The Red Dawn.
Yeah.
The Red Dawn is another remake that sucked.
Ooh, I never saw the remake.
Don't bother.
Yeah, there's a lot of Amityville movies. Been hearing a lot of buzz about the Amityville gas chamber recently.
Is that a real movie, or are you making that up?
It's a real movie on Instagram, man. I've been seeing a lot of posts on it.
I was teasing Patrick the other day in his live stream that I was going to make a movie called The Conjuring of the Last Amityville Exorcist. Yeah, Shark. That's right. I forgot Shark.
By Dawn's Early Light. I've seen Just Before Dawn. Does that count?
Casey said he heard some buzz about the Amityville vibrator.
Yeah, there is a bit of a buzz going on with that one. Yeah, the Amityville movies, I don't know, man. I guess they like the rights. They didn't secure the rights or some shit. So that's why I don't really get it. I don't know. I don't know how that goes. I watched VHS 2 recently.
How was that?
It was pretty good. I thought a decent follow. I like the first one, and I like the second one, and I like the VHS 94. I thought was okay. The third one sucks, but I don't know. The second one was still pretty decent. I like my anthologies. What can I say?
Oh, last week, I think it was Mr. Dan, maybe. Somebody commented that there was a documentary out there by Severin.
Oh, I saw that on Instagram, I think.
Called what was the name of it? Tales of the Uncanny, and it's a little documentary about anthology horror.
Yeah.
Somebody has uploaded the whole thing to YouTube. And it's very nice quality, so I went ahead and downloaded it before anyone tries to get pulled off.
It's crazy the amount of like copyright strikes you'll get and the amount of just like straight up movies there are. Like
yeah.
Uploaded.
So all in one setting, I downloaded that. I downloaded The Vault of Horror, From a Whisper to a Scream, and Asylum.
I watched From a Whisper to the Scream for the first time recently.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I remember you talking about it, and it's out there, so I'll check it out.
I thought it was like I thought it was going to be maybe cheesier. The subject matter was a lot darker, I think, than I was expecting. I guess that's all I'll say. But
yeah, I would have expected it to be I watched the first few minutes, and the way it started off, it seemed like it was going to be pretty lighthearted.
Oh, you mean where the dude's fucking like going down on the chick suspended with a meat hook? That part? Lighthearted comedy?
No, I watched just the conversation between the girl and Vincent Price at the beginning.
Oh, okay. You didn't actually get into the first thing.
No.
Because it starts with this dude walking into this dark hallway and going down on some chick hanging from a meat hook.
Ew, okay. That's not lighthearted.
No, it's not all that lighthearted. I mean, I guess that's
all week long. My YouTube feed has been full of Norm Macdonald jokes.
Really?
Because you know how YouTube is. I watched a Norm Macdonald video like a week ago, so now they flooded me with them.
Oh yeah.
And I'm good with that because I love Norm Macdonald. And he told a joke on Conan. Speaking of that, you made me think. He said this guy, his wife was in a coma. And doctor come in and said, well, there's one way to revive her, but it's a little unorthodox. And the husband said, what is it? And he said, well, you have oral sex with her. And he says, you're kidding. And he goes, nope, I've seen it work. And he goes, so I'll just leave you alone. And said the husband stayed in there for about 5 minutes, and he come back out. He said, Doc, she's choking.
Good old Norm Macdonald.
Yep.
Instagram's been just flooding me with dachshund videos for some reason, which I end up liking. So what are you gonna do?
Another one he told I really liked was he liked to tell Conan time wasting jokes, like really long, wasn't worth the wait jokes. And
I mean, that's his whole thing.
yeah, and he told one about this moth that went into the podiatrist office. And I'm not going to try to even attempt to tell the whole thing, but he goes in the podiatrist office and the podiatrist says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "Oh God, it's my family and my wife and my son." And he goes on for like 4 or 5 minutes about how much he can't stand his family and doesn't want to be with them. And the podiatrist says, "Sounds to me more like you need a therapist. Why'd you come in here?" And the moth says, "Because the light was on." And that was the whole joke. So
I mean, I think Norm is hilarious, man, but I fully understand why. If he just doesn't tickle you, then his humor is stupid, right?
yeah, he's definitely, I think, a love him or hate him type.
And what in the fuck was I just hearing, by the way?
My daughter
Sneezes?
sneezing.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there's like the Amityville sneeze going on over there or something.
The walls are sneezing.
Exactly. Yeah, I always thought he was funny, but it is kind of weird how the way marketing is sort of whoa.
Sorry.
Do that again. I felt like here's Johnny. The what the fuck was I just saying?
Marketing.
Oh yeah, the marketing's fucking freaky, man. Like directed marketing sometimes feels like such like an invasive maneuver that you're just like, there's no way I'm gonna buy your fucking product, you know. It's like someone like messages you something about like laundry, and then you get like Snuggles laundry detergent commercials. You're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Fucking bear.
Yeah, right. I didn't even Google that. I was thinking about it.
Totally. That's why I gotta wear that tinfoil hat all the time.
Yeah, keep them out.
I would like a tinfoil hat. It is kind of invasive in general, but what you gonna do?
Yeah.
What movie was it where all the advertising was like directly aimed right at you, like you're walking down and it's like using your name and shit?
Minority Report.
Yeah. That's where we're heading. Keith in the house. What's up, Keith?
Hey, Keith.
We were talking about you earlier, dude. When we were talking about Censor, how you did not like that film too much. But I saw Keith was going to do a live stream at some point. Saw something about that with Mondo
Chelovic, yeah.
I didn't see when it was, though.
I think it was the 12th, maybe.
I have to see if I can catch that. I know Goraphobe has been doing a lot of streams lately, and he's going to be doing some streams like for his birthday weekend that I think I'm going to be on one of them on either Friday or Sunday. Keith confirms Tuesday the 12th. Tuesday the 12th is probably something in my Monday the 11th, I think. Seeing as Keith is a time traveler. Not as much as like Andrew Ballina and like Adam Paul Beaumont when there was like the when the Slashback Saturday stuff was going on and they were posting like their videos, like, you know.
They're already in next Tuesday.
Exactly. They're like it's like Monday and they're talking like 3 things in the future. Yeah, those guys are crazy, man.
Yeah, Keith's what, 4 hours ahead of us?
Is it only 4? No.
Well, it's 4 or 5 ahead of me and Dave.
Yeah.
Then be like 3 more for you, Ben.
It just depends on, I guess, do they do daylight savings in Ireland? I don't know.
I heard
Not if they're smart.
I heard we're getting it's 3:35 a.m. there right now.
So it's 5 hours.
Yeah, so it's 8 hours for me. I heard there was legislation passed that we're not doing daylight savings anymore. But I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen or not.
We, as in California, or the U.S.?
The U.S. It's fucking weird. Some states already don't do it.
I had a California question for you, Ben.
Ooh, I got a California answer. Can
you have things that run on 2-cycle gas there, like chainsaws, weed eaters?
Yeah.
I overheard. You ever overhear a conversation that stops and resets your brain because it's so stupid? I was in McDonald's today, swung in to just use the bathroom, and heard these 2 old guys talking. And one old guy was talking about them damn liberals in California outlawed 2-cycle gas like 15 years ago, and you have to use electric chainsaws out there because liberal wackos.
That's a dude who knows his shit. So the more you know, perfect, man. Did you just like on the draw?
I thought that sounded like that just sounded like utter bullshit, but I know someone from California, so I'll verify.
Well, we did pass legislation that you can eat babies if you're lizard people.
Well, that's okay. I mean,
yeah, that legislation's been passed. So,
but I thought I've never ever even heard of a chainsaw that's 4-cycle, you know. So I don't know what the hell these idiots are talking about, but
yeah, well, they do make electric chainsaws.
Yeah.
But
actually, we have one. We have a small one on a stick for getting up high and, branch trimming. It's handy too.
Here's my fun bit of trivia for you guys. Do you know what the old the clerk at the chainsaw store that Dennis Hopper goes to get his chainsaws at in TCM2? Do you know what his line is as Dennis Hopper is just mashing?
Is it hot damn?
No, it's oh, my aching banana.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember it.
That's so funny. He's like so like excited by him. Like, how fucked up would that chainsaw be if he was just like smashing into that goddamn log? That's a great film.
Oh yeah, love that movie. Lick my plate,
you dog dick. Yeah, the I think that movie is pretty great. I like most of the films in that franchise. I think I've been tempted so many times to do a goddamn like an anti-rant on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. But I have not done that yet.
I still need to get me a copy of part 3.
That's one I still haven't seen.
Yeah.
Oh, 3's great. You don't have a copy of 3?
No, I it's in my Amazon card. I just haven't ever went ahead and got it.
Keith's asking about my bike, my KTM Super Duke, featured in a lot of my YouTube videos, was stolen from my backyard, and no news on it. Filed a police report. I can't remember. Maybe I was telling Cody. Now I'm in the position where I'm either going to get a fancy new bike or a super fucking fancy new bike. And I don't decide which. So at least
so that leaves you with the Harley that you ride most of the time, right?
It leaves me with the Harley,
and then you got a couple project bikes.
I have a 1973 BMW old airhead, and then I have a project bike, which is the, what year is it? 98K 1100 RS.
So what exactly happens when someone steals a vehicle? Does the insurance company pay you what the vehicle was worth, or what? How's that?
Well, here's the fucked up thing. I insure 4 motorcycles. And when I got the Harley, I bought it outright, so I wasn't making payments on it. And the insurance, I had a point on my record, and when I said add this to the insurance, she said like, okay. And then the next bill I got was for like $1,000, so it was going to be $1,100 every month to insure my motorcycles. And I was like, that's fucking ridiculous. I could go drive that thing off a cliff and like, and just take the money I would have spent on you and buy a portion of a new motorcycle. So I didn't really have insurance on it. So now I'm just going to have to eat that loss. It was worth about, well, it was 16 or 17,000 bucks.
Wow.
Kind of a big bummer. Awesome bike too, man. The Road Warrior bike. Yeah, let me find a picture real quick of that bike. But that bike is in storage, and I have not worked on it in a few years. And I really kind of need to get back into it. Projects are hard to find time for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
And I know I'm always like in a spot where I end up not buying things that I'll just make that, and then I end up not making it as well. Here's the K1100 Mad Max Road Warrior bike. My project. That was great when at my old job. Well, it was the same. Whoa.
I was trying to make you big, man. I messed up.
I found a vending machine earlier that I asked to make me big, so hopefully tomorrow I'll wake up bigger.
Did you make a wish or?
I made a wish. We'll see.
Zoltar.
Yeah, Zoltar. I just I have an interview for a toy company tomorrow too, so we'll see how that goes. And I put in an order for a giant piano to dance on, so
I wouldn't mind having one of those.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, the Blood and Bruise and the Heezy. What's up, dude? What the fuck was I talking about?
I'm sorry.
Your old job and the bikes.
Oh yeah, man. Same job, but the old shop was
old shop. I thought you said old job. Sorry.
I think I probably did say old job, but it was basically like 15 minutes away from me, and I had my motorcycle over there and a fuck ton of tools and CNC machines and all sorts of shit. So it used to be like super convenient to go work on that project. But you have to, Patrick's saying you have to have insurance. You have to have liability insurance. You don't have to have full comprehensive insurance. And you can also get around having any insurance if you open up like a little escrow account thing with whatever the minimum is. But I do have liability insurance. Yeah, you have to have proof of insurance. It's probably like that in all states, isn't it? Don't you have to have insurance?
Yeah.
I know here you can only use electric insurance, so liberals.
No two-cycle.
No two-stroke insurance here, yeah.
I'm just always overcome with, people like that. Did he just make it up? Did he hear it somewhere and he's a parrot? What's going on here?
Yeah, we have like inline 4 and like V6 chainsaws here, but you can't do a two-stroke. Yeah, you sort of. I mean, I think he probably saw a Facebook post, right? Is that how that works?
Probably, yeah.
Or like someone on 4chan was like said something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Misinformation is like
Just another fucking yokel. That's the best way to describe it. But
it's pretty like misinformation. Like who'd have thought, like 30 years ago that wars would be just fought making stupid ass citizens believe a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. Patrick says he must have heard it on Fox. I mean,
I saw. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say
Go
the
ahead.
thing is like any news source is gonna use like I don't know attention getting headlines that aren't actually what the content of the story is, but like will try to suck you in. And so people consider that fake news because they're too lazy to read the article that has the genuine information. And so that happens on both sides. That happens with
Well, today we were talking about an article Abby was reading today, and it was talking about online grocery sales having gone down in the last 2 years. Well, pandemic's coming to an end, right? Makes sense to me. But the tone of the article was just talking about, the economy being awful, but it was about a 6% decrease over 2 years. And I was like, and they were talking about it plummeting. 6% is a plummet. But if they were trying to defend the economy, they'd probably call that a modest reduction,
Sure.
Instead of plummeting. So language has a lot to do with it, what they're trying to get across.
Casey nails it, man. He says, David's horror gone, blames pizza for absence. That's the headline. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then I read some article about how the US is now trying to use information about how unprepared Russia's military was and shit to lower Russia's morale. It's just crazy talk. Wow, dude, they really whitewashed your ass. There you
go. We're gonna post on their Facebook now, huh?
Yeah. I mean, might as well. Except the only thing is Russia apparently can censor their goddamn website, so they won't allow them to get on Facebook anymore. But YouTube's still a open site over there, so plus I'm sure a lot of Russians at this point use VPNs anyway.
Yeah. I saw some headline somewhere that said, what, Pornhub blocked Russia?
Yeah, dude.
That's like, well, hell, the war is going to end in a couple hours, probably.
That's probably 95% of their videos, right?
China does have the Great Firewall. I wonder how effective any of that stuff is. The China one is a lot more controlled. They really try to control the information that the public receives. But I don't know how savvy people are over there as far as actually accessing, VPNs or whatever, or how hardcore the offense, an offense that is. But it is kind of spooky, man. Governments controlling information is kind of spooky in general. I think liberals and non-liberals can agree on that. Patrick's saying we censor our websites too as well. I mean, I don't feel like America puts up makes websites inaccessible so much, that are just general legal websites. Here, am I wrong?
Oh.
I mean, I guess we'll
What
never.
kind of sites is he talking about?
I don't know. Hitman hiring services. I understand though, like there's like a deep web and then there's a dark web, right? And like standard and like internet traffic. I heard some weird number. I'm not even going to quote it because who knows how fake that news was. But the information I had heard was Facebook is not censored by the government, dude. Those are private companies. Yeah. So Facebook is not run by our government, nor does our government actually censor it, nor Twitter, nor Instagram. Those are all. Well, Instagram and Facebook are both owned by Facebook. Don't know who owns Twitter at this point, but Silk Road, was that like a genuine website or was that a dark web website? Because all sorts of like, illegal traffic like that on sort of back dark web stuff.
I'm not sure what Silk Road is.
Silk Road was it was a site that was just sort of like Craigslist for drugs and stuff. And the guy, there was one dude who ran it who was like got super rich and then he got busted and arrested.
And what's this Pornhub you're talking about?
I don't know what Pornhub is.
I've never seen it.
Is that like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue or something? That's pretty nice.
It's pretty risque.
Patrick says Silk Road is a real site. Is it actually still a real site? Or was it a real site? The owner was definitely arrested. I do remember that.
I've heard of Copperhead Road.
I've heard of Road Warrior.
Abbey Road.
Road to Perdition.
Road Games.
Road to Escondido.
Rodan, the volcano monster.
Rocky Road.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. The candy bar and the ice cream. Yeah, normally websites censor themselves, says Casey. Yeah, I mean, Silk Road, I think, was standard. Let me check. Watch the FBI come bust down my road, my door. And now the beacon's going out. Silkroad.org creates music that engages different. SilkRoadTechnology.com. Silk Road Marketplace was an online black market and the first modern dark net market. Okay, so it was on the dark web the whole time. But it was a dark market where you could pick up, I think, like anything, drugs or hitmen and that type of stuff.
When does it quit being the dark web, though? I mean, how many people have to know about it?
But it's not just like that. It's like you need to access it a certain way. It's not like you can just go on with the standard www.http / whatever the fuck. It's a different cataloging thing, is my understanding. So you can't just access it from a standard browser. But you can access it. I tried to watch. It's like the dark web is like insanely fascinating, the concept of it and everything. And there's some YouTube channels where people will like surf the dark web or they'll like live stream it and stuff. And it's actually so much more boring. You know what I mean? it's just like I don't know. It seems like I've watched a few of those, and it's been mostly like a bunch of sort of scam sites and stuff. I'm sure, like, if you had a direct like purpose that you were going there to find like snuff films or some shit, you could probably find it, But
I saw a meme the other day that said, when I was younger, I always thought that hacking required a lot of coding. Turns out it's just asking people to give you their credit card info, and they do.
yeah, pretty much.
I've had a guy try to call me 2 or 3 times this week, claiming to be from DirecTV, which I don't even have DirecTV, but wanting to adjust my programming and wants to know if the TV is on.
It's not on, but let me get my banking info for you real quick.
I had one the other night. Sam was laughing at me. And I've done this to him before. The ones that call wanting to transfer your bank balances, to save you money.
Oh, that sounds like a fair bet.
Because it says, I love
that too.
You muted yourself, Cody.
I just love in general.
Said that they're calling from the offices of MasterCard, Visa, and Discover.
Oh yeah, and American.
Yeah, like all 3 of them work together.
Yeah,
but
I'm calling from Wells Fargo, Chase of America Bank.
But I told the guy, I said, well, he said, how much do you owe on your Discover card? And I said, oh, it's a shit ton.
Yeah, you told us that.
Yeah, I said, hang on, let me go get it. And I just set the phone down. And after a minute or two, he's like, are you still there? And I said, yeah, I'm looking for it. Hang on. And then after doing that 2 or 3 times, then you switch it up on him and say, do you guys do MasterCard too? And he'll say, yeah, what's that number? Say, hang on, let me find it.
Yeah.
And then finally, after 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes, you finally tell him, I'm just fucking with you. and they get mad. So
I don't know, like, how can they get mad? I mean, I guess they could get mad because they wasted their time, right? But like,
right, yeah. And that's my goal, waste their time.
David, do you get calls from like Sweetwater and Guitar Center? Like, their marketing is so fucking aggressive.
I get emails out the wazoo from Sweetwater.
I get like physical phone calls. I accidentally answered them the other day. He's like, this is so-and-so from Guitar Center. And I was like, is this Ben? I'm like, it is, but I don't have time, dude. Sorry. I just hung up.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't have, like, fuck wasting their time. I'd rather not bother wasting my time for like Guitar Center bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that feels pretty invasive too. Like, it's like political text messages. You know what I mean? Like, you're almost, if you send me a fucking text message, I'm likely to vote opposed to whatever the fuck it is just out of spite. You know what I mean?
I've never got
if it's like creating legislation to eat babies, I'm on board with that.
I did once get a political survey call, and as they asked you questions, they also started to try to talk you into the other viewpoint. I was like, this isn't a survey,
Yeah.
And the whole thing was all about, where we ended up parting ways was when he asked about whether or not, I thought that birth control ought to be something that's provided to people. Kind of like a free service. And I said, listen, pal, I think that shit ought to be ground up and put in Happy Meals. There ought to be a lot of birth control out there. I said, and he didn't like that. So we were done with the survey at that point.
I mean, I guess people are opposed to birth control. Is that what it is? Or they're just opposed to like the government spending money on birth control?
I think they're opposed to people being naughty. I think that's a big part of it to them.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, the invention of the imaginary welfare queen with 18 kids in a Cadillac.
You sure? She lives in Sacramento or in California.
There's also a version of, the people who use birth control or get an abortion are the ones that bang the football team.
Right.
And
because you have to be a slut to get pregnant, right?
Right.
Plus, it's like pre-killing an innocent baby. If you know what I mean. No, you don't want to pre-murder a baby, do you?
I did have
like be a concept.
So, when we got married, we had to go through the Catholic training thing, and we had what they called like a pre-cana dinner, I think, where 4 couples come in and talk to us. One couple talked about finance, one talked about keeping the marriage fun. I forget maybe what the third topic was, but the one I laughed at, they picked the ugliest fucking people I've ever seen to talk to us about sex and baby.
Nice.
So that was comical. But then they tried to talk to us about the rhythm method. He was a doctor, and they had like 6 kids, and I was like, well, he ain't doing it right. But what they told us was that you cannot use birth control because when you're being intimate, you're inviting God into your relationship. If you use birth control, you're telling him to stay out. But then they go on to tell us about this rhythm method, and I think, well, isn't that kind of like not answering the door?
Hey, don't kink shame God, dude. If God's into rhythm, what else?
So I don't know. It just seemed idiotic to me. Tell them to mind their own goddamn business.
The concept of God watching you fuck someone is a little disturbing, anyway. You know what I mean? Like, he's just in there as a guest. He's not even joining in. It's like you're cuckolding God by fucking his like daughter or whatever, right? Like, come on. Religion's weird.
It is.
I was tuning into Patrick's stream the other day. I can't remember the name of the guy he was interviewing, but like I just turned in and people were like quoting scripture in the chat, and I was like, "What the fuck did I just walk into?" And they were discussing religion. We did discuss religion and concepts of evil. It was interesting. It was an interesting discussion. Good interview, I thought.
Bill Oberst Jr. Is that who he was interviewing?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, he confirmed Bill Oberst Jr. He's a Christian. Now, let me ask you guys this, because Patrick and him were talking about House of a Thousand Corpses. Patrick feels like that was very dark and sort of crossed over a lot of like lines. And I felt like Devil's Rejects was a little darker than House of a Thousand Corpses. What did you guys think?
I've only seen House of a Thousand Corpses. I haven't seen the other 2 in the trilogy.
What?
I'm not a big Rob Zombie fan.
I still haven't watched all of 3 from Hell.
Well, you don't have to bother with 3 from Hell, but
I think
is worth watching.
I think I agree with you. It kind of got darker as it went, right?
Yeah, it like the violence it seemed less stylized, you know what I mean? Like when you're like in House of a Thousand Corpses, you're like down, underground. There's like weird zombie things, Dr. Satan and shit. Okay. Like, but in Devil's Rejects, you have them holding hostages and like mistreating like genuine people in this hotel room. You know what I mean? It's like it's just less stylized and more realistic in a way, which made it feel darker to me personally. But I like Devil's Rejects possibly more than House of a Thousand Corpses. I like them both. You should definitely watch Devil's Rejects though, David.
Okay. I mean, I've got it. I just never watched it.
I mean, you might as well skip 3 from Hell, in my personal opinion. But a lot of people loved it too. So
I watched about 30 minutes and actually kind of liked what I watched.
Well, the first part is quite a bit. It's like, you know, Devil's Reject, the first, you know, act or two is sort of different than the last act. You know what I mean? And I feel like they tried to do that again with Three from Hell, but in a way that was a little less interesting for me personally. But they sort of like tried to do that same thing, but it felt like it kind of, I don't know, wasn't as effective as Devil's Rejects, in my personal opinion. I do know some people that absolutely love Three from Hell, so
I saw 31 and I didn't completely hate it. I mean, I like that character.
Doomhead was a great character.
Doomhead, yeah.
I started to watch it and didn't get very far.
He was the only part of that movie that was worth a shit, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the rest of it was like not very good. But I thought he was a great character, and I thought Richard Brake did actually a really good like job playing him too.
Yeah. It felt like it was much tamer than most Rob Zombie movies. I don't know.
I feel like I want to see just a Doomhead movie without the fucking aristocrats or whatever the fuck those, you know. But maybe that's just me. I'm a weirdo. Who knows? Who knows, man? I like Rob's. I don't know if I like Rob Zombie, to be honest with you. I like some Rob Zombie. I don't like some other Rob Zombies, you know. But I like the first Halloween remake. I like the House of Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. And
did you like Lords of Salem?
Nah, I thought it was. I like slow burn movies, and I found it to be boring as fuck. But it's one I've been meaning to give a second chance to, because sometimes if you're just not in the mood for that type of movie, or you're not in the proper mindset, then it will just bore the shit out of you. But if you can like get engaged in it, then those types of movies I find I really like. So I've been meaning to give it a second chance, but I have not done that yet. Have you seen it?
No.
Cody, you've seen it.
Lords of Salem?
Yeah.
Most of it.
Until it got too boring for you?
Yeah. And again, I just go into his stuff kind of, I don't know, kind of biased. Just don't really care for him that much. I did want to sit down and watch House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects again to give them another chance. Mostly,
you don't like either of those either?
Not really. And I think most of what drives me away from it is just the constant screaming and cussing. And, you know, I cuss a lot, but Jesus. It's like, you know, he comes up with the worst white trash characters he can.
He's interested in having highly unlikable characters. You know what I mean? That's like a staple of his thing. And there's plenty of movies where I don't like a single character and I still enjoy the film. It's a little harder, I think, if you make a movie where every character is unlikable, to have people still like the film. It can be done, but
it did me in on Midsommar.
Yeah, I mean, I could relate to Danny, I thought, in that one, and a lot more than like, I mean, as much as you might have found her character annoying, you sort of understand her arc, you know, the like tragedy and her dealing with it, you know what I mean? Like, that's some heavy shit. That would fuck me up if my sibling killed my parents and committed suicide, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, don't doubt that. But like I said, my happy ending for that would have been the whole village burned down and they all died.
I mean, some people died. That was the other thing. Like, a lot of people watch that and think the boyfriend was like just the most terrible person ever. And he was not a great person, but I also didn't find him to be quite as offensive as I think a lot of other people did.
Yeah, I saw him as a victim.
I mean, he was a dick though too. You know, I mean, he was kind of like a spineless cocksucker, but yeah.
They all were, but
well, that's the interesting. That's the conversation that was happening on Patrick's stream. Is like just talking about genuine evil. Like, is there such a thing? And no one is like exactly like, you know, I'm sure some people like Mother Teresa or whatever are just like 100% saints or whatever, but like it's just kind of like a spectrum, right? So even if you're like the most evil, like even if you're like John Wayne Gacy, who's like a sick psychopathic fuck killing people, he was still doing like fundraisers and like parades and shit. So like, yeah, how does that factor into like his overall effect on the world? I don't know. I mean, I think he just wins the evil award, but still, like,
he didn't kill all the kids he met. He made some of them laugh.
That's true. That's true. I mean, his crawl space wasn't that fucking big. I mean, he packed like 30 people under there. I saw Paul Phoenix sent me a trailer for a new Netflix documentary on John Wayne Gacy that I guess will be coming out or something.
Yeah, I think it's out now.
It's out now. And I watched an interview with him not too long ago, where he's still like, you know, he wasn't like Jeffrey Dahmer is like a dude who's like, yeah, okay, well, this was a problem. I didn't like killing people, but I did kill people and, you know, fuck their dead corpses and tried to make living zombies and like ate parts of them and shit. But so he like copped to everything. And then John Wayne Gacy during his interview, he's like, I don't know how those bodies got under there. I put one body under there. And like these other guys I used to party with put like all sorts of bodies under there. I couldn't even go under there, you know, like I had a bad back. How do I get under there? And it was just, it's pretty like two different takes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Brad in the house, what's up, dude?
I mean, he's been dead for 28 years. I mean, why do they keep doing these new documentaries, or are they learning new stuff about his psyche that we didn't know 28 years ago?
Well, true crime has had quite a big resurgence. You know what I mean? Lately, I think
cells would be my answer.
Yeah, with like YouTube and podcasts and stuff, a lot of people are really having like an interested in sort of true crime.
Yeah,
as am I. You know, it's this morbid curiosity and fascination. And in fact, in the Richard Ramirez documentary, I mean, I've been into like interested in serial killers stuff, you know, for I don't know, decades, right?
No, I watch them all too. I watched the Ramirez documentary. I've watched the Dahmer stuff and the Ted Bundy. I mean,
but with the Richard Ramirez one, I didn't know that he had kidnapped a little girl. I mean, all the documentaries and shit I've watched over the years, I didn't know anything about kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just knew about like the cases that he was actually, I guess, had been tried for.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything, so I did learn something, which is pretty interesting. And I saw that they did. There's like sort of like less popular people that I saw. They did like a documentary on Dorothea Puente.
Yeah.
And she was from my hometown. I remember when all that shit went down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she buried the people in the backyard, right?
Yeah, shit, in Sacramento. I remember all that shit.
Yeah.
And like, so, but I mean, a lot of people don't know those stories. So,
yeah, I watched the documentary on her recently.
I didn't watch it. What did you think? I didn't watch it.
I enjoyed it. I mean, she looked much older than she really was in life. I mean, that was part of her, I guess, MO, right? Just to come across as this grandmotherly figure. I
mean, was she evil though, or was she, you know, just a strong entrepreneur and a smart business lady? I'm just kidding.
I mean, she killed that homeless guy and just buried him in the back. I mean, that's what kind of sparked the whole investigation, from what I understood.
Yeah, and then she fled too, right? When they,
yeah, while they're in the backyard digging for stuff, she's like, "I'm gonna go across the street and grab some cigarettes," and then she's
I'll
like,
be right back, guys. I need to go get a Cornetto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I mean, I think that's why. I think, you know, it's like very popular thing. And as it should be, you know what I mean? It's like fascinating. Some like true cases, they've I mean, I understand that they're true and everything, but sort of like hearing people talking about them is much more akin to like, you know, reenactments or dramatizations, you know, and it sort of removes the actual crime from reality in a lot of ways. Sometimes some of those cases are actually disturbing as fuck, you know what I mean? Like there's a few true crime cases I've heard that I'm just like, oh, that kind of like fucking crushed my spirit a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I watched one where this teenage kid just basically just murdered his mom and dad and sister just because they were just being parents, you know, enforcing rules and this and that, and he just wasn't having it.
Yeah, I think well, I don't want to talk about the most fucking like cases that have bumped me out the most, you know, but yeah, I mean, some of them get to me. A lot of them, like, I don't know. I could listen to like a bunch of different people talk about, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer, or that's just fascinating. I mean, that sort of humans, you know, psychology is just fascinating.
BTK and all. I mean, speaking of religious people, this guy was like
he was like,
he wasn't a minister, but he was like a head in the church that he attended. Yeah.
In fact, that's how they busted him, because he sent an email
from him a floppy disk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know it's spooky shit, man.
Yeah.
It is spooky shit. He was a sick twist. Have you seen like the footage of his confession in court? Yeah, he's so matter of fact about like, you know, I tied up the whole family and then like basically you know, strangled her till she died, and then like, it's just like so.
It was just a game to him. I mean, it was just stroking his ego.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The Dennis Nilsson, do you know who that is? Is that his name? I don't remember. We were on here you were mentioning, like, you mentioned a musician. I thought you were talking about him, but he was like this UK serial killer.
Oh, Rick Nilsson, or yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Dennis, right? Nilsson.
Harry Nilsson did Popeye. Dennis Wilson was the Beach Boy drummer that drowned.
Okay. He just had a documentary on the Nilsson tapes on Netflix, and that was pretty interesting because that was like him, like himself recording all these tapes. And so it was like him telling, Dennis Nilsson is his name, telling like his story through his words. Like he narrated this documentary about his fucking like life and crimes. That was pretty interesting. But
hey guys, I'm gonna turn in before I fall asleep on here.
all right.
Well, all right, man.
Thanks for hosting and covering tonight, Dave.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'll see you boys next weekend, I hope.
All right, man.
Plan, dude.
See ya.
Night. Should we call it? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
It's been quiet in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, pleasure as always, dude.
Yeah. Talk to you next weekend, man.
Indeed, you will. Sorry, I won't miss you on the chat tomorrow or in the stream tomorrow.
Yeah, I may try to hop in later, but I can't be there for the full chat.
Sure. All right. Well, peace, homies.
See ya.